got a lot to answer for coming in here with a cock-a-bull story.
It's the truth.
Look, man, you can't just dismiss it.
We'll look into it, all right, sir. Don't you worry.
Look, there's no time to investigate. You've got to do something now before it's... Dr. Jensen! Dr. Jensen!
Come back here!
Dr. Jensen! Stop that boy!
General, is the link open to Houston? Tell them to delay liftoff. Yes, hold it. It's imperative.
But the countdown's already begun.
Been cracked, I tell you. We've got a witness. You've got to stop the liftoff, now.
Is the link open? Get me Houston control. Miss Howard? Miss Howard? Ah.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Dr. Jensen!
Oh!
Dr. Jensen!
Come on, boy!
Dr. Jensen! You've got to stop the launching, don't you understand? They know the code, the Jenson Code!
Come with me, come on, man, out!
Jensen!
He can't hear
Dr.
you, that
Jensen!
sounds good!
What on earth's going on?
Dr. Jensen! Dr. Jensen!
This is control, we've got a 505, hello?
Dr. Jensen!
Ian, Uncle!
Leave him. Get him up there. I want Jensen to see him up there.
But, Ma'am, you can't let him watch.
Don't argue.
No General Hart! He can't be engaged! Get him!
Less than 1 minute to go, and Houston Control reports all systems go.
Directly off the liftoff.
We're on maximum alert. They've got to stop the
50,
liftoff.
49, 48.
The code's been intercepted. Yes, the Jenson Code.
43, 42.
What about
41,
Dr. Jensen?
40,
Well, aren't you going to tell him?
38.
He was
37,
hypnotized. He doesn't
36,
know the code's being
35,
stolen.
34,
Doesn't
33.
Is the message understood?
2, 31, 30, 29.
The General's trying to call me.
28,
Right.
27, 26.
Too late, they won't stop it
25,
now.
24, 23, 22, 21.
Hello, General.
20, 19, 18.
It's liftoff minus
17,
16, sir.
15, 14,
Sir?
13.
Hello?
12, 11, 10, 9.
The General's spoken to
8,
Houston.
7.
It's touch and go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have 0 plus 4 seconds. There seems to be some difficulty. All systems were declared go. There seems to be some difficulty, some delay.
They've done it. Come over here. I want Jensen to see you.
No, we'll do this my way. Take him to the office.
Liftoff plus 20 seconds. We still have no information about the mysterious last-minute delay which has prevented the launching of the orbiting space laboratory.
Miss Howard, the Americans will not be pleased.
Sir?
If you're wrong,
I'm not.
we'll soon know, won't we? Now, you start on the boy. I'm going to speak to Jensen before he knows we've been in touch with Houston.
What's going on, General? What's the delay? What's going on, man?
Andrew, I'm coming in to have a word with you.
There's still complete mystery surrounding the delay. We have no reports of technical failure, and Houston Control is issuing no statement
Gentlemen?
at the present time.
I don't like it.
The meteorological reports still indicate
happened
perfect
before.
conditions for takeoff.
Lots of times.
And if the Brown
Without any
County
explanation.
computer were at fault, this
Or
would
maybe
be the
they
first
don't know
failure
what's
in
wrong
7
yet.
years of development
There
and
could be
experimental operation.
nuts and bolts, anything. Maybe they know exactly what's wrong, Richards.
Still no word from Houston Control. In the history of space flight, there's never been a launch delay. which hasn't been anticipated and announced.
Well, there's one way to find out. Ask this General Hart if he knows anything about it. What's the number?
Houston was at that time.
But that way we lose everything. Warn them now and they'll cancel the launching for sure.
Richards, just give me the number.
Liftoff plus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And
No.
word from Houston Control. It appears that ignition sequence has
Must
been
we
suspended,
fight?
but could be reactivated should all be clear for liftoff.
I
in a
think
matter
we
of
should wait
45
until
minutes.
Gordon gets here. That's the deal.
It is said that compared with the
He's
Apollo
not coming, is he?
liner, the Mariner flight,
After all,
precision calculations
I made inquiries.
time of liftoff
Oh, nothing complicated.
and,
Just a simple telephone call to the Adventure Center where he works. It seems he's helping the police with their inquiries.
Police? What inquiries is that?
Nobody knows. It's all a big mystery. Like this delay at Houston. Perhaps it's all part of the same mystery. Perhaps Gordon has been giving the police a lot of help.
In that case, they'll stop the launching, won't they? Well, they haven't done that. Yet.
Yes, Houston? No, he's not here. Please, we'll let you know as soon as we can. Right. Sit down. In this farmhouse, you didn't actually see Jensen give away the code, did you? I mean, you didn't see him crack.
No, but I knew he would. I could see it. Besides, I gave part of it away.
You did?
Yeah. Well, Dr. Jensen told me all about it, so I could tell you, if I got away.
Who is it?
Jones, ma'am. Shall I fetch a doctor now? The General did say 10 minutes.
Yes, all right. You're going to meet Dr. Jensen again, Terry. This time, I think you will see him crack.
All right. Go ahead. Ruin the whole thing. Have it your own way.
Ready, sir?
But what makes you so sure he didn't make a deal? You say you met him again when you came back to the Peaks, and he was all right then.
Yes, but he'd been put back by the gang, and he didn't know about it. Well, you see, he was hypnotized.
Well, why didn't you come to us?
Well, I couldn't remember too clearly at first.
But you remembered him,
Yes. Yes, I did.
and then forgot again. Why?
It was...
Because he made you forget.
made me?
He's not too bad at hypnotizing people himself. Didn't you realize that?
Right, in you come.
Oh, just a minute.
Oh, hang on, Andrews. Yes?
Houston rang. They said they must restart the final countdown in half an hour.
Half an hour. That should just give us enough time.
Right, in you come, Andrew. There's someone here who'd like to renew your acquaintance, I believe.
Oh, you mean Miss Howard? Yes, I always find her very eager to renew our acquaintance.
Not Miss Howard, man.
Oh, you mean the boy?
You know the boy?
Know him? I've never seen him before in my life.
Dr. Jensen.
We met?
The farmhouse. They kept us in the ruins, in the room, don't you remember?
Kept us? I'm sorry.
You were kidnapped.
Kidnapped? That sounds thoroughly unlikely.
No, but I was there. I saw the kidnapping. Well, that's why they roped me in. Look, I got the same treatment as you did. They took us to that room with no furniture, and this bloke, this hypnotist. Look, you must remember him. Look, he wanted the code. That's why you told me what it was, because... Look, he was forcing you to give away the code.
Forcing? Bribing, more likely.
Oh, that's very astute of you.
What do you mean?
To realize I could never be forced to give away the Jenson Code.
But you did give it away. Then they put you back again.
They? Who's they? And how do you know I gave it away? Are there any witnesses?
Yes, there's Alex.
Alex? Who's Alex?
One of the instructors at the center. He was there.
Really? In what capacity? And are you sure he remembers me? Funny how people's memory seems to come and go.
He's outside. Shall we ask him?
You still haven't told me what part he played in this kidnapping.
Well, it was like he was used by the gang.
Used? Kidnapped, you mean, like us?
Sort of, only he was on their side.
On their side?
Andrew, all we need to do is to ask him in. Now, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather not involve another person in the details of this program. Why don't you simply tell us here and now what happened?
Involve another person? You mean one of the kidnappers, General? And this is your star witness, this so-called instructor?
Raisins.
Want one?
You knew they were raisins.
Raisins. You gave me a lift. Not yesterday, but the day before, and I knew who you were. Then you said...
Yes?
Try to remember.
Clever boy.
You two know each other then, don't you?
Oh, do you think so?
Well, how do you know about the raisins? Just a guess?
Well, perhaps she's like I am. I can always tell a raisin person.
But I don't like raisins.
Come, Andrew, you'll have to do better than that.
Forgive me, General. You'll have to do better. If you want enough evidence to lay a charge.
I've heard enough for my purposes. I'm suspending you from all duties as from this moment.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
Because the boy's telling the truth. I gave away the Jenson Code. Deliberately. To protect the Jenson Code. Doing your job for you. Really.
Doing my job?
You gave away the code?
Tell them, Terry. Tell them the Jenson Code.
2 signals. Like plus and minus, odd and even. Well, one clears the channel and the other blocks it.
Yes. And the signals?
The circle and the cross.
Well, what?
The circle.
That's not the code.
Nothing to do with it. The circle and the cross.
That's nothing like the Jensen Code.
Are you perhaps beginning to understand?
Would you follow me, please, gentlemen? General Hart would like to see you in his office.
Endicott, all clear. Can you... At 1100 hours? Good. Andrew, it's still go for the launching. Fine. I'll speak to you later. Come in. General Hart.
How do you do, sir?
This is Miss Howard, our security chief, and Dr. Jensen.
Yes. We've already met.
Indeed we have.
You all right, Terry?
You find a chair.
To begin, at the beginning. For me, at least. I knew something was afoot. I was expecting it. I was certain I was being watched.
Well, you should have come to us.
Do be quiet. It was a crude sort of kidnapping, but effective.
I dreamt about it. Night after night. Ambushing that car, they must have brainwashed me. I did it like a sleepwalker. But why did they use me?
Must have been because you knew too much.
That's part of the dreams. Coming out of the tunnel, seeing Gordon with a notebook and the binoculars.
Yes, studying me.
Those 2 hours. You said you were gone 10 minutes, remember? Well, they must have given you the treatment that day and made you forget it all.
Oh, it worked well enough for them. Kept you with them that weekend. Removed the danger that you might remember what you'd seen. I knew at once when you were guarding me that you'd been brainwashed. But I knew the man who'd done it was a bit of an amateur. I could have held out, almost indefinitely.
But I was there. You were hypnotized. You were cracking up.
As I say, I could have held out. But I knew if I could make them think they had the code, and that I didn't realize they had the code, that they'd be off my back. So I gave Terry the Jenson Code, but not the real one. I knew they'd crack him. I thought they'd make a better job of it, I must say, and put him back the way they meant to put us all back, blissfully ignorant of what happened to us that weekend. But they botched it, and you got away, half brainwashed, half remembering.
But you tried to escape yourself.
Yes, yes. Can't say I was enjoying my weekend. Was one solution, obviously, to escape. But if I failed, then you were my insurance policy, giving away your false code. I did fail. You gave away the so-called code, and I capped it with my pretend confession. I saw no point in telling you before the launch. You'd only have rushed about trying to find the villains and surrounded me with half a dozen bodyguards. As you know, I like my freedom.
You let the gang go free just to annoy the security department?
Go free? My dear Miss Howard, this gang will meet a far worse fate at the hands of their own people than they ever would at yours. When they find out that the code is worthless, which they will do as soon as the space lab goes into orbit.
Dr. Jensen, you are the most irresponsible man I've ever met in my life.
I second that.
Thank you.
Well, why didn't you tell me? When I came back, when you gave me a lift, you could have told me.
But my dear boy, security must come first. I'm all for security, with freedom. Everybody thought they knew the Jenson Code, but only I did, and my colleagues here. And so I thought I'd better put you off the scent by using a little trick that I'd picked up from our hypnotist friend. Those 3 little words that he'd implanted in your brain. Surely no harm's done? No one's been in any danger, have they?
Oh, no. Lad was only left for dead down Wilmer Deep. No danger.
I am sorry. That was absolutely unintentional.
That's fine. If it hadn't been for myself and Mr. Buckle, Terry would be dead. And Gordon would still be free.
Oh, you've caught him. Splendid. I'm sure that we can put him inside for a good long time. Perhaps Miss Howard could assemble the evidence. Give us something to do while the space lab gets underway.
How do we know you didn't sell the real code, Jensen?
My dear Miss Howard, I could have done that without all this fuss. Now, couldn't I?
Go on, clear out the lot of you. I've got to speak to Houston.
Thank you.
Come on, Terry.
You're authorizing the launch on the strength of that.
Miss Howard, when we formed this unit, you'll remember that we were looking for a man both brilliant in his field, and somewhat restricted field of telepathic communication, and sincere in his patriotism. The fact that the man is probably deranged as well is no concern of mine.
Well, and we'd best be going, Terry, if we're going to meet your parents.
Perhaps someday I'll be able to make up for all the trouble you've been through.
There is something you could do. Let me watch the launch.
0. We have liftoff this time. We have liftoff. After 2 hours and 13 minutes delay, we have liftoff. And Houston reports fuel stages go, flight path go, the Brown-Thompson computer go. Liftoff plus 12 seconds and mission Athena is go. The readout from the computers indicates perfect functioning. Those boys at Houston sure
I take it, Richards, you now feel less reluctant to give me that number?
For an agonizing hour as the mystery
Correct.
deepened, and no word came from Houston.
Call for you, sir. We are monitoring it. We believe it may be the one you were expecting.
Hart speaking. Who is that? Who is that speaking, please?
Never mind that, General. Just listen. I want to talk to you about the Jenson Code. Do the words noughts and crosses mean anything to you?
Yes, they do. Noughts and crosses. Quite a simple idea, really, isn't it? Never mind. I'm sure your hypnotist friend did his best. Let us know when you want to have a go for the real code, and we'll see if we can oblige. Goodbye.
Now, all is clear, and just look at that scene there at Houston. Reminds me of the feeling in the very same room as Neil Armstrong spoke those historic lines as he became the first human to step onto another planet. A small step for a man, a great leap for mankind. To the outside world,
Well, gentlemen,
Athena has been less well known.
there seems to have been a rather regrettable mistake.
In space research and exploration.
On your part, that
We
is.
have liftoff plus 60 seconds, and there goes the first stage rocket. Perfect separation, and Houston looked alike.
Hypnotism won't help you this time, Richards.
Readout from the computer computer indicates all
Unless you have eyes in the back of your head.
and there hasn't yet been any need for much course correction. We're bang on target and all systems go.
First transmission concluded, Dr. Jensen.
You realize, Terry, that now you'll have to have a full security checkout before you leave. Bit of a bore, I know, can take hours.
But why?
Well, you saw the code, didn't you? The real one.
Yes, but I didn't really understand it.
No, but you saw the signals on the screen.
Yeah, I saw them.
What were they?
Well, they were like playing cards.
Yes?
Diamond shapes.
What diamonds, can you tell me?
They used the 5 and the 6.
Yes, go on.
The 8 and the 7.
Yes, Terry. Try to remember.
I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
Raisins?
Oh, no thanks, don't go for them.